Hello. In this video I want to discuss the free tool FrameDesign. You see the website over here. You can just directly go there, and if you go there you can log in by entering your email address. You'll get a code in this email address, and then you can log in and save your constructions. There is no real option to save your constructions. It just says over here that everything is saved. So when you open a new construction, the old one will be saved. So I would recommend to first test that with a simple structure, like for example just a single beam, and not start with a complete complex structure immediately, because something might go wrong at saving it for the first time. So test with that first. So you see I've got a couple of structures over here, and I really like this tool. It gives you a lot of nice results, and I will show you how to use it. What I don't like up at this point is two things. First of all, I can't find anything about this company, so I started using this tool when Autodesk Force Effect retired. It stopped being available, and I would like to know what this company is. It seems a Dutch company with the extension of NL. I would have liked to know which company is behind it, but I can't really find anything, although I've tried pretty hard, and you can download several apps from them, but I don't know which company is behind it. And the other thing that I don't like up to this point is that you cannot actually rotate a beam. When you select a beam and edit it, you see some broken images, and it seems you cannot rotate the profile. I think that's what these images were meant to do, but until this point they don't do that. So besides that, it's a real convenient tool, really nice tool. So I'll start drawing a new simple beam. I'll just open a new file, and with a plus I can give it a name. For example, I'll use it beam 2. Okay, and then by clicking it you just open it, and the old structure is still saved. And you can also use folders to document your saved files. So now I'll draw something. So I'll draw a construction. So I'll explain the use of all these buttons over here. Simply you work from left to right. So you start first here with a construction. You can enter beam with fixtures at both ends, or hinges at both ends, or a combination of that. So in this case I'll use hinges, and I'll draw a beam from here to there. It works with a raster, and if you want to change the size of the raster, you just zoom in and you get a finer raster to be able to select the beam and then move this point. So the further you zoom in, the finer you can move the beam. You cannot enter digits like that over here. So that's some disadvantage of this tool, but with a raster for quite simple constructions it actually works really good. So now I have a HEA 120 beam. You can change that profile by using the edit here, and you see it's chosen steel 235. I can change the profile. As I've shown before, you cannot rotate it, but also here it seems like you can only choose HEA profiles in various dimensions. There are actually more profiles you can choose. For that I've downloaded the app that this company has created, and here you see the RHS code. This app of the same company, Steel Profiles, actually has a lot of profiles inside that you can then choose. So if you want to use more profiles, I would recommend downloading this app, and I've done that. So I can see that RHS 100 is a rectangular profile, so I'll just enter RHS 100 and then I push enter, and now you see I can select various of square beams. I've tested it also with circular beams, so if you want to test that yourself, have a look at this app. Somehow the profiles are not available in one convenient sheet. That will be nice, but if you use this app you can also get the profiles you probably want. So now I've created a beam, and I can enter supports. So I'll choose a fixed support over here and a rolling support on this side, and then I can start entering loads with the next button, with this button over here. I'll enter a load of, for example, 10 kilonewton on the middle of the beam. You can change it by just selecting it and then use the edit tool, and you can increase it in value or rotate it as well. And here change the dimension of the force, the location exactly with a a number as well. So it doesn't work with the beams, but it does work with the force. And now you see everything is okay. And if I then elongate the beam, so if I choose a longer beam and a higher force, you will see red areas over here to indicate that the beam can't hold it, so the beam is not strong enough. So I'll show that. Just zoom out and zoom in with the mouse wheel a little, and if I there is an undo button over here, which I rarely ever use. In this case it's nice, but when you choose undo, it's not possible to redo anymore. So I'll choose an even longer length like this, and at some point when the force and the force is big enough and the beam is long enough, then the results will show up red, as you can see now, to indicate that this beam cannot hold this force. So it's quite nice, working quite easy and convenient. And I've now set up a simple calculation. I've done these 3 buttons, and then when I choose the last button, I can show results, and here I can show the moment, the shear, the normal force, and the reaction forces. For example, like that, the reaction forces show up. You can enter the stresses due to the moment and the shear and the normal force as well, and the total. And what is a very nice tool is to stack the results to show them under each other. So like this, when I zoom out, this is nice that you can have the moment and shear diagram under each other. So that's a real good way of showing the results, I think. And then here are some possibilities as well. Here you can enter the snap points on beam. So if I choose the next beam and I have more snapping points, I'll draw another beam. You can see that it will snap to the middle of this beam, and if you leave this on 0, it won't. So it's the snapping for beams, but not snapping to the raster that you see in the background. And then here you can see that you can also select beams. So if you wait it, you get a tooltip, which is nice. And this last one here will choose zoom to all, which in this case doesn't show the shear diagram. Doesn't matter, I'll zoom out a little. And the last one here, you can switch between the units. So all in all, I think a quite nice tool. I've also made some videos on the more advanced uses when you start drawing complete structures. But this is the introduction, just to show the buttons and the basic capabilities of FrameDesign. So that was it. Thanks for watching.